Hey YouTube, it's Angela. All right, this week we're going to do a soul guidance reading on that space we get into where we hold an expectation of failure. It's it's a human condition that our souls really know that there's no such thing as fail. There's, learn and grow and expand and connect and all that, even if on the face of it, it seems like um we're not making progress or whatever. So we lock ourselves into that mindset that, something bad's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to make it all the way through to my goal with a smooth ride or whatever. The first card I got, I'm pulling from several different oracle decks this week. The first one is from Dreamweavers by Colette Baron Reed. And this is a wonderful sort of fantasy filled. I just love the whimsical illustrations on this deck. And the card that we got is called All the Shoes Fell from the Sky. This is waiting for the other shoe to drop, literally. The expectation of failure, but that disguises itself as it actually is self-sabotage, but we're disguising it as, oh, it probably won't go right, or it won't go perfectly, so I shouldn't even start, I shouldn't even try. We are sabotaging our own progress in that way by having these thoughts that it won't go all the way right. Well, nothing's going to go 100% perfectly right? This is all about exploring and, gaining new ideas and not locking ourselves in and making us believe that if it doesn't go this ABCD way that we've laid out in our minds, then we failed, right? It really locks us in, but it's an exaggeration of our fears. Really, that we do this, we play this trick in our own mind. We focus on what's missing instead of what's there, right? Or, we focus on all the ways it could go wrong instead of all the ways it could go right, you know? And the bottom line is we are trying to exert control over the outcome. And that's a singularly human condition that we create for ourselves. But it keeps us suspended. It keeps us, kind of um, just staring at the sky, waiting for those shoes to come so we could justify, that projection of our fear, was correct. So this is what we're going to focus on, is how to sort of process with and quiet that expectation of failure, because that leaves us stuck. I got two Zen cards to go with this, and guess what they are? They're both mental energies, obviously, because this condition, expecting failure, waiting for the other shoe to drop, is a mental energy here. So I got fighting. These are the back and forth, the conflicts that you have in your own mind, right? And just kind of closing off your mind or your expectation or your ideas to something new coming in to help create flow for you. But it's closed off from that. It's like it's not working. It hasn't worked in the past. I don't have everything I need. All that heavier blocking energy that we create. And then this is a funny one, but I got guilt. It's another mental energy. And really what I'm getting for this is not, oh, I'm guilty if I stop being expecting the worst, or I'm not sure what the guilt, but I do get regret from this. And all this, see how the little the darkness, or the claws are like clawing at her brain and keeping her stuck really in this sort of dark or vast cloudy energy, when right above it is clarity, right? So this is the fog, the mental stuckness that we create that keeps us from our clarity, or from the brighter, clearer picture of what we want to achieve. The next oracle I got, it's coming from the Messages from the Light deck. And the next three are from that deck. And I pulled Letting Go. This is that waiting for the shoe to drop energy, we're trying to clear our internal energy so that we can make space for those things that we want to, get done, or the accomplishments. I'm thinking, sometimes this is an internal goal. Sometimes it's, oh, I wish I were more, I don't know. I wish I were less combative with people, but I can't be because they're always wrong or whatever, right? That's the, holding on to this negative outlook of it. Or with the relationship with another, I'm stuck here in this relationship, and if it's going good one day, I better not get used to that because something's bad's going to come along, right? That's the sort of mind trick that we play on ourselves that keeps us really anchored, or not anchored, but tethered and stuck into one idea or one moment. And what we're wanting to do is release some of those energies, some of those thoughts that go through our head that we can't, or better not enjoy it too much because something bad's coming around the corner, because it always does. Well, yeah, but does it have to take you down, that bad thing? Because yeah, good and bad things are always happening in any one moment, always. And the shift here is, what are you going to focus on? And what will you accept into your own energy? So letting some of those go. And I like the imagery here because it's that bubble, and it's kind of like, it's almost like you could do this in your meditation, or in an session of envisioning, where you just place all those blocking, fearful, waiting for the shoe to drop energies into that bubble and just let them float away to clear your current space. The more we cling to some of those concepts, like, everything's going to go wrong. If it's not 100% perfect, I don't even want to take one step. The more we cling to that, the more it leaves us feeling exhausted. I think I pulled this for a similar reading a couple weeks ago in survival mode. And that's that feeling. I'm depleted. I can't take one more step. I can't, even though I feel and I expect the worst is going to happen, that's not the worst of it, because it's the thoughts of it and the repeat of the worst is going to happen that actually depletes my energy. So it's really important that we find ways to soften those attitudes and outlooks and let them fall away. And then after exhaustion, I got ordinariness. This is your ability to really clear mostly your mind, but clear your energy of those weighted, heavier vibrations just by doing something else, right? By getting into your day, the daily practice of, there's that saying I've heard in Buddhist circles, where I can't remember which teacher it was, but who said, when you're drinking tea, drink the tea. Like, that's the simplicity you want to get it down to. Be with the teacup, feel the warmth in your hand, take a sip and feel it going down your esophagus, like literally breaking it down, like managing your moments so they are deliberate, focused, and present. And that's where we want, that's kind of a table that we want to set in order to fully clear some of that negative, oh, the worst is yet to come kind of, attitude. So it helps us to be in this moment, and then whatever comes, and we will let it. And then the things we want to go will go if we let them, right? But if we're clinging to the idea that bad things are going to come around the corner, then you're stuck. Bad things will come, but they won't go, because you're like, aha, I knew it. Come here, negative thing, come and sit with me and let me, marinate in that for a minute. So that's really the art of letting go. It's not an easy one, but with practice we can bring ourselves to more space within our being and within our minds. Then we start to focus in. Now I got intention. And this is, I love the energy of this card, how it's coming through crown and going out of the heart and pinpointing this energy or this focus that we want to achieve, that we want to create. This is clean. It's clean, clear, light energy that is not muddied by this, waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's not muddied by that. This is crisp and clear and all knowing that that's the direction I'm going in. And mistakes, if we want to look at those as a negative thing, to me, they're learning tools, right? It's like, oh, okay, this didn't work. Great. I can try something else now. Instead of this didn't work, I got to make it work. This has to work or none of it's going to work, right? It's a more like little, like the bumpers in a, what's it called? Pinball game, they bounce you off, and if you get into something that's not the direction you want to go in, you get bounced off and you can go in another direction. But what we do is we want to glue ourselves to that no that we receive and dwell on that and think, why did you say no, right? Instead of going, oh, okay, where's the next yes? Let me bump off this and go to. So that's the clear and crisp intention that we're talking about, that isn't muddied by our, that we don't get in our own way of our progress. And then I got silence to go with that. Yeah, this is focused, third eye energy. This is being at one with the alignment within you, and that creates space to allow new ideas to come in. That focused intention to really take hold. So make sure to, in your practice, in your daily world, to create some solitude and some quiet time for you to just be disconnecting from all of it. And then perfect for this intention card, I got flowering. So this is putting the seed of your intention into the universe. And this is watching it bloom, the receipt, the outcome of that intention flowering. Soon you'll see that even in the smallest detail, that maybe from this, waiting for the other shoe to drop vibration, you allowed yourself to not engage in like one little detail that needed to be a certain way, but it didn't show up that way. And you allowed yourself to go ahead and use that pinball bumper and move in that new direction and see what comes. Sometimes you may be surprised at what comes and what blossoms just from that clear, clean intention that's unimpeded by your sort of tug of war, drawing back into, but it's not working. But it's not working perfectly kind of a vibe. And then the next oracle I got is creation. Now and this is similar to the intention, because we have energy coming down through the crown again, but this is more water filled. This one feels more like air and thoughts and plans. And this one feels more like really embodying, this new way, this way of seeing things with an open field instead of waiting for the shoes to drop from the sky, right? This is more embodying it, letting your feelings be part of what this is that you're trying to create. Maybe even if the, this needing to control my outcome made you feel a little more secure, even though it really impedes your progress. But I get it. We feel like if we have it all figured out first, then it's not as risky. And then it doesn't feel as scary to take that chance or to step down that road. But what this reading is doing is kind of dispelling some of that. Like, instead of needing it all figured out, which keeps us in stasis, it keeps us from progressing as into the flow as easily as we could. Some of this work, letting go, setting the intention, keeping a sharp focus on it, and then feeling into your progress and really going, okay, 6 weeks ago, I saw it as needing to be this, A, B, C, D. Now I'm like, oh, I skipped C and D and I'm moving on to M or whatever, right? Like I'm feeling this more right now. So I'll put my focus there. I can relate to this. There are several things I want to create with Grounded Dreamers, and my focus has been a little scattered. And because I didn't have everything tied in a neat bow and a whole, outline of protocol, written down, it's been more of a feeling into what comes next for me. I have the ideas out there, and now it's more, what do I gravitate to in this moment? What do I want to create first? And that is, after a time of marinating in it, right? Having that focused intention, but not feeling so compelled to um, take all the steps at once, or to refuse to start because I don't have it all figured out beforehand, right? It's really more, and I'm really more in the flow. And that really helps, because you get unexpected ideas and unexpected little sparks of creativity and inspiration that you may have missed if you're so bent on, this is the order it must happen in, kind of a thing, right? With this creation card, now we're making moves. First of all, I got the outsider. This is that story that really all that we need. There's nothing really stopping us. Even that iron gate isn't really locked. The lock can be just pulled off the chain and the gate can be open and I can step through. So this is being in the flow, right? The creation card talked about, being present with the flow of what's available to you and creating from there. And this is a reminder that the first step is, puts you on your way to that. And then talk about a first step. I got the Fool. That's some first step. He's going right off the cliff, eagerly, without too much concern about what's meeting him at the bottom. He just trusts in the universe, and he's going to go. He's going to go. He's not going to look up to the sky waiting for the shoes to fall. That's not happening. He's going to go and adjust and adapt along the way. And that's the energy here. And then the final set of cards I got are, this is coming from this deck called the Voice of the Souls Oracle. And they're separated into two set, like the white cards and the black cards. This is a soul card. This is a big message. And this is message of freedom. This is what frees you. Free your mind from this strict protocol or this strict expectation. You free your mind from that. And now your entire being feels like there's more space to move in, like there's more, there's more to look forward to. There's more possibility that's coming your way just from the process of moving away from that lack mentality and going forward with what you have to work with. Things show up along the way for you if you're really in that flow. And that freedom is really showing that you can create anything. You're a creator and you can do anything that you want, what I mean? And really what I'm talking about is energy wise, like you can create blissful feeling. You can create this sense of freedom for your soul. This is all up to you. And it comes with inner work, focused intention, and letting go of the old outlooks and ways. And then I got possibilities with the freedom card. This is the feeling of freedom. That eagle is in his freedom and able to see everything that's come before him, that's headed, that's lying ahead on the road, the entire landscape and how all the parts mix together to form the whole. And especially after this, clarity of intention, these cards have a lot more meaning now. It's like, yeah, there's kind of nothing that, if I want to focus on it, that I can't achieve. And then the final card is completion. And this is an intuitive card. This is, that puzzle piece is going into the third eye place. And this is just reminding you that these little achievements, you know, like a couple weeks ago, it was survival mode. A couple weeks before that, it was the 4 agreements, and the different soul guidance videos that I post are all parts of the whole, but with each aspect that we focus on of our inner being and clean up and work on in our waking world, you know, using our persona or our ego self, each aspect that we clean up like that creates a bigger, a bigger view of the entire picture. And it strengthens our resolve, and it gets us not quite impervious to, but less magnetic or less drawn to those outside influences that have us thinking in a negative way or in a, lack mentality. We get to clean that up and get ourselves in a space from the inside out to move down our path in the way that we choose, right? With that full freedom. So don't sit around waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's not the way. All right, that will do it for now. And I love you guys. See you soon.